Is it on? Oh. Yeah, it was working. Good. All right. Good evening, Mount Vernon. Today is July 10th, and we are currently in the memorial room for the regular city council. Working out. Um, um, our AC isn't working in the council chamber, so we're in the memorial room. I'm also serving as acting council president today because our mayor has taken a personal day. Oh, this is lovely. Let's see if that works. All right. I hope everyone can hear me at home. So, as I was saying, we are in the memorial room because council chambers has some AC issues. Also, I'm serving as acting president today because our mayor has taken a personal day, which has our council president serving as acting mayor today. So we have a lot going on tonight, just to give everyone a heads up. Before I get into the agenda for the night, I want to go ahead and do some housekeeping. If you have a cell phone on, please go ahead and put it on mute or silent. If you need to take a call, please step out into the hallway and walk down the hall a little bit because the acoustics in the building are amazing. Bathrooms, there's a men's bathroom right outside the doors for those inside the memorial room, right next to the staircase. If the ladies' room is to the right, and if you make a left, you'll see it on the left-hand side. If we need to exit, you would follow the exit sign in the rear. You would go down the main staircase, or if that is blocked for some reason, you would go around to the right. There's another set of staircase that will take you down to the ground level. As Council President likes to say, there's an AED machine right outside this door if we ever have an emergency. But let's knock on wood that we won't. So we have a presentation coming from the Youth Bureau first, just so that everyone knows what's on the agenda. Then we have a presentation coming from Con Edison today, right after that. And then we will get into the speakers for the evening, all right? Well, yes. All right. So we'll start with the presentation from the Youth Bureau. Executive Director Debbie Burrell Butler.
Good afternoon, everyone. I mean, I know I have a loud voice. It's good. Okay. All right. I'm just going to talk regardless. So, I guess I should just introduce my fellow amazing youth first before we do the video. So in the past, we have spoken about, well, thank again for the council. We presented referral letters for you to okay our partnership with BITS. We were at a press conference, you attended, and as promised, I told you guys I would keep you in the loop. So I'm a person of my word, so I'm keeping you in the loop. They did training in this very same room, and throughout the entire 4 or 5 months, they went not only to Miami on a private jet that we were both all jealous of, but they also had this amazing event at Westchester Airport. I think some of you guys were able to attend. And so they've been working really hard. And I won't say anything else because it's not about me. I'm just really happy that you are all able to see them in their element from where they were and where they're at based on the video you will see shortly. And they're going to come up and say a few words, even though they're pretty much shy and it's their first time speaking in front of City Council. I tell them just act like you're not here. And it's just part of, which is really hard to do. I just tell them just be themselves. And so I'm going to ask them to approach here. They're really dressed. They made sure they came out really dressed for y'all today. Because in all essence, what they are doing is job readiness, career, youth development. That's all that the Youth Bureau does, much more. But in this small, in everything that they do, we also instill in, I know how you feel now. In everything that they do, they understand that they're not just representing themselves, they're not just representing their parents, but they also are representing the department and the city of Mount Vernon. So that's how give a round of applause. See my guys, they came dressed. They came dressed. So they're here to represent. And I'll be remiss if I do not shout out Carla, who is online. She was unable to make it here today, but she also will be speaking. It's 5 of them. I'm really super proud of them. And Dina will close us out, but you will hear from my youth. So I will move out of the way and y'all.
Hello, my name is Omari McCullum. I just want to start off by thanking the Youth Bureau for its opportunity. You get a round of applause. When I first joined this program, I didn't know too much what I wanted to do in life. So the Youth Bureau brought this opportunity to me, and I was like, aviation. When I first thought about aviation, what I thought of it was just flying the plane, the flight attendants. But as I got into the program, it showed me that there's so many more opportunities and lanes you can go into the aviation industry. There's from the mechanic side to the avionics, which is the electronics in the plane that lets you fly the plane good. Let me see. There's the line service technician, which is what we're training to do right now, and the first step in our journey for our future. All right. Do want to say thank you for letting me speak.
State your name.
I'm David Santiago. Yeah. To start off, similar to what Marion said, I wanted to thank everyone for the opportunity that I was given to be able to even join the program to begin with. It really is an honor, especially considering that I kind of came in to the program not really knowing what I wanted to do with my life. And aviation was kind of the last thing I had in mind when I came here. But given now that I was introduced to the industry, it's really been, I would say, enlightening for me, because previously I thought it was, just you had your pilots, you had just, the standard things in aviation. But then even just attending the conference at the airport, I was open to I didn't know that there was also there's mental health involved in the aviation industry. There's even food. You also need a lot of medical attention in aviation. And I was just very surprised by all that. So now I also wanted to say a thank you to the teachers, because they have been really patient with me. They really have done a very good job at helping me. Because I do consider myself a person who gets easily distracted. But they helped me to keep focused on the lessons they were teaching me. And, I'm able to be here now to present to all of you. And now I have a job opportunity on the horizon. So, yeah. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Quandre Woods. All right, I'm gonna give a little bit of my background. I just recently graduated from Lincoln Tech from Connecticut, and I graduated, thank you. And I became a certified mechanic technician, and I've done the work. I've done everything I could. And now I came back home to New York, and I have went straight here to the City Hall, because I've been in this program, the Youth Bureau, for quite a while, since high school. So my first thought was like, hey, let me go check on them and see what they can offer me. And the first thing I was offered is the aviation team, the program, and Mr. Shields, which is behind me somewhere. Yeah, he introduced me to it, and I had no idea what I was getting into until I got into it, and they introduced me into a whole lot of possibilities that I could have never thought of. So, like, going to going to Miami, first of all, that was amazing. I had no idea I was going to do that. Then I was learning about the LST, line service technician, and how to maintain in that field, how to what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, forgive me, I'm a bit nervous. Yeah. But anyways, I had never thought I would be up as far as to come this far. I've never thought that if it wasn't for the strong program, the youth bureau, I would not have been here. But thank you, man.
I already know. I know my kids. I know my kids. He said, nope, nope. I already know my kids. I know my kids. So at this, been with them a long time. At this point, we're gonna have Carla, turn it over to Carla to speak.
Good evening. Can you hear me well in the room? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Voice check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello? Are we heard? Yeah, I see the thumbs up. Okay.
They learned that in
Yeah.
flight school.
Good evening. My name is Carla Figueroa, and I am still in college, currently at City College of New York in Harlem. And it's always been my dream to be part of the aerospace industry and find my strengths in the career field as a whole. But considering how difficult it is to get into the industry, or really difficult to find a path into it, better said, it always flew over my head the different ways that I could possibly start working or find internships. And I really thought that my path towards being an engineer or starting out as an LST, marshaling planes in and out and servicing the planes as they come in and depart from airports, and understanding how a airport works on the back end of it. It I've just the way that BITS, the Barrington Irving Technical School, and their collaboration with the Youth Bureau has opened my eyes to the variety and the color and the life that is in this career field. I'm grateful to it every day, because as David was saying, you don't take into consideration the catering that goes into it and all of the different chefs and meal planners and people who come in to create food plans for the planes coming in and out, or the safety companies coming in and creating new products and new safety mechanisms to make sure that we're all flying from place to place and getting home safely. And just even at the NBAA, all of the different aspects and all of the different parts of the industry really show their vigor and their truth in how much work and how much love goes into the planes, like just as for as much as I could say that all most of our experiences with this has been really cool. At the basis of it, it's just a love for us as a community within the Youth Bureau, and a love for planes and a love for getting really good work done. And I feel like with BITS and with the Youth Bureau, I've been able to get so much good work done for myself in as an individual for my career, and really start putting work in so I could get a job and start putting back into my community. And I am very, very thankful for the opportunity to start working in the career field that I've always wanted to as my first job. I mean, who can say that?
Hi, everyone. My name is Rayleigh, and I am the intake specialist for the W-Day program. First of all, thank you so much for giving my students the opportunity to speak today. It's been a pleasure hearing from them, and I'm so, so proud of them and all the growth that I've witnessed over the last couple months. I've been working with them on not only a group basis, but an individual basis. And I think that this program has been so instrumental and amazing, not only because they're learning the skills that they need to thrive and succeed in this professional environment and within that avenue, but I've also been working with them on other areas as well, such as networking, interviewing, professionalism, behaviors in the professional space, and other things at large. So it's been really, really great being able to guide them in their transition from youth into adulthood. And I'm very, very pleased to see where they've started and now where they've ended up. And I'm so excited to continue to work with them. And I'm very, very excited for them to get jobs in this field. They're all so committed to the program. And yes, thank you so much for allowing us to speak today.
To Carla, to David, Omarion, oh no. Q. Oh God, how could I forget Q? And M. I just wanted to say you guys were dedicated. You were dedicated. You could have been anywhere. But they came to every single class. If they couldn't make it, they would let somebody know. They put in the work. They went out like champions when we went to the National Business Aviation Association. They met very high level people, powerful people, and they were not shy about going up, introducing themselves and talking about what their futures should look like as far as, you know, the work that they were putting in. So I also want to say thanks to our executive director for her vision. And I want to say thanks to all of you because we come up with some things, but you always support us. So that's really one. I was over at the town hall, but I had to get back because I really, really wanted to thank you for all of your support. We couldn't do what we do without your support. So thank you to all of the city council members.
Trust me, we do come up with some crazy things. We like thinking outside the box. And at this time, I know you heard from all of us, but I think sometimes the visual put everything together. So I will ask City Clerk if she could please play that video. Where's the sound?
Hey guys, it's Captain Barrington Irving. I'm here in White Plains, New York with our students from Mount Vernon.
Of all the programs we've had here, they've all been exciting and innovative, but this program is sending everybody over the moon.
The City of Mount Vernon and the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau have been excited about the BITS program ever since Barrington Irvington and his team brought it to us.
It's one thing for us to find people and to say, you're going to give them a job, and we're very thankful for our partners, but to have a human being take such an interest and then say, I'm going to go above and beyond. I'm going to make sure that these kids are so excited they will never leave this field. And that is priceless.
I'm one of the instructors at the Barrington Irving Technical Training School. I'm here in Mount Vernon, New York with the young adults from the Youth Bureau, and we are completing our marshalling class today. So the students are very, very excited because they're using the virtual reality today, and they're really getting super engaged into furthering their career into the aviation industry as well.
I saw the amount of cool things I was coming out of being in the aviation and things I could learn and experience. So I just took a shot, and my motto usually is, I don't let any opportunity pass up.
Today I'm at the NBAA, the National Business Aviation Association, and I'm having a wonderful time walking around the booths and being able to talk to all of the lead industry companies and all different aspects of the aviation field.
A lot of them don't have the experience of knowing what they want to do right now, but with BEATS, I think that will push them forward in life as it did as an individual.
they're looking for employment. And in speaking with Barrington and his team, they've talked about partnership with Atlantic and Signal, and that they'll be employed by them. I got to talk to GE Aerospace, I got to talk to Pratt & Whitney, Signature Aviation, Atlantic, about not only their company operations, but myself and where I could find my strengths within the aviation industry, or where my strengths would lie within their companies. And as I'm working my way through the aviation industry field and advancing my career.
I'm the customer service manager here at Atlantic Aviation in White Plains. Today we had the honor of hosting the BITS students, just showing them around, giving them a tour, and letting them know the information on how to be a line service technician and a customer service rep, and what a fixed-based operation is.
My name is Andy. I'm 19 years old. The overall experience is amazing. I like the opportunity that we're getting.
Before joining the BITS program, I had interest in being here with the BITS program. Now I'm learning about more the technical aspects of it. If I was to become a flight attendant, now I have more information about the plane rather than just going into the flight attendant program blindly.
They are meeting, they are networking, they're having conversations, they're building their network, and so I am quite confident that employment will come out of this. Not just employment, but for them to move further and further in aviation careers.
Is this a career that they can do while they're in college? I always let them know it is very possible. It is something that you do have to pace yourself, and with the aviation industry evolving how it is, we're going to need those fresh minds, those fresh brains, and everybody like that ready to attack this industry at full force.
You can keep growing and growing, and you just raise that bar higher and higher, and they can do just about anything in the aviation field, but this has given them their start.
Thanks to a collaboration with Atlantic Aviation and White Plains Airport, we're getting ready to give these students an amazing experience, introducing them to the world of FBOs.
It's the first time they actually seen that video too, along with myself. So I was smiling all the way. And so with that, I really want to say thank you to the BITS. They're like family. This program was the first pilot program, no pun intended, but it will not be the last. And so just looking forward for you guys saying yes to my other crazy ideas. And so thank you for your time, and I appreciate it. And a round of applause to the BITS family that's on screen and my staff and youth that's in this room. Thank you. Any questions or concerns? Okay. All right. I'll take that too. I'm not doing this by myself.
This one? Oh, so,
Come on, Dina.
first I would like to, say, give a round of applause for the entire youth bureau. Which is awesome, awesome, awesome. We applaud every last one of our young people who were involved in this, because as I always say, it's easy to start anything, but when you finish it, that's the gold, right? So we thank you so much for participating in some of the visions that seem crazy at first, but it always is something that you can learn from. So I do applaud the director, Debbie Burrell Butler. Y'all make some noise for her. And the entire staff of the Youth Bureau, because you are all always advocating for our young people, bringing nuances for them, and tweaking things and tweaking their minds to let them think outside of the box. And that's what it's all about, because a lot of times they don't know what they're interested in until you bring it forth and present something to them where they can participate and learn great things. So kudos to all of you. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much for constantly begging for grants and getting that money for our children. So thank you so much, because you don't know the days and the hours that this lady sits upstairs with her staff, day in and day out, going forth for this money, and she does not take no for an answer when she's getting money. So these grants are very important, and I thank you so much for allowing your team to work and bring all of this to fruition. So thank you so very much. That's all I have now, but before you leave, also talk about your gala.
Oh,
But
yes.
yes, that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Thompson. Councilman Potteet?
Thank you. Often in our communities, Black and brown women hold us down, right? And that's no secret. So I'm so proud to see these young Black and brown men up here doing their thing. I'm serious. Y'all are making me happy. Obviously, the Youth Bureau is phenomenal, and they're phenomenal if you're listening, Mount Vernon, because they use very little of our tax dollars and do incredible things. But just, again, one huge shout out to you brothers. Keep on moving, keep on striving, keep on looking up, and keep on doing your thing. Thank you so much. Of course, of course. And Carla.
Councilman Boxell?
Thank you, Devin.
Thank you.
I wish you guys had this when I was. I know.
Me too.
I was like, sorry. No, this is really good. Really good. Yeah, but this is really amazing, man. Not surprised, not shocked, but it's really small. It's amazing work with the kids.
Can you hear me better? Yeah, you're always doing amazing work with the kids, and we appreciate you and the whole recreation staff, the hard work and the dedication from these young folks. It's, amazing. Again, and young lady on camera, just keep it up. Don't stop here, and we expect to see some pilots, coming from this bunch. So thank you again.
We'll let you know, right, Gina?
Acting Mayor?
Acting Mayor. So Carla Zarali, thank you so much for everything that you did for these young people. But there's one person here tonight that I do not want to discard, and that is Lloyd Shields. So I want you to step up. And I want to tell you about this gentleman, because he is a gentleman until you mess with his kids. Oh, God. So I witnessed this gentleman on 4th Avenue when we were trying to do something with the Youth Bureau and the cleanup. And he got straight into protective mode of his kids.
Try my best.
And I think that deputy director, you guys do an incredible job. But I think the one thing that I want to recognize is also the strength behind you, right? And I think that Lloyd absolutely represents that. And even though he doesn't think he's recognized, we have absolutely recognized you and everything that you have done. Okay?
Appreciate it.
The fact that, yeah, it might be a part of your job, but the fact that you were there, you supported these young men and women, everybody who was involved, and you constantly do that. And you do that out of your heart, okay? And that only comes from a person that really, truly loves Mount Vernon. And I wanted to make sure that we recognize you tonight also, because I saw you standing there like a bodyguard in front of these young men. And I think that that's so important. Obviously, I love Carla and Zarali for being behind them, but I also want to make sure that these young men and women understand that you have a strong Black man leading them who's successful.
I appreciate that.
And we love you.
I love you all too.
And there have been several times that you have been in the background. I just wanted to make sure that you were brought up front tonight. And I thank you so much for everything that you did. I love everything that the kids did, even though you're not kids, you're young adults. It introduced you to something you would never, ever even consider. Okay, so I think this was a great program. And Lloyd, I would like you to say a few words.
First of all, I really appreciate all the help that you'll provide to us. And I want to tell my guys and my ladies that I'm so proud of y'all. And, I could be hard on y'all sometime, but hey, you know what, most of the time, but I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I love you all, and this is what I do. And what Z and I will say all the time is
W Day.
Thanks.
Awesome, Lloyd. I mean, I really gotta give it to you all. Is that this? Okay. All right, cool. I really gotta give it to the Youth Bureau staff, the leadership. You guys amaze every single time, right? And I think when you first came before us about this program, I was excited about it because oftentimes kids from this community or people from this, you're a grown man, right? You graduated college, so you're not a kid, but people from this community don't get opportunities. They don't get a chance. They don't get different perspectives outside of their community, right? And what this did, and while you were talking, I was learning things. So I thought this was an aviation program, and automatically I thought pilot, and we were talking about TLS, right? We were talking about all these different things. So I'm sitting here like, wow, I didn't even realize that, you know, they had the opportunity to experience these things. And for me growing up, I didn't even know, right? That wasn't a job. The things people talk about are lawyers, doctors, right? Your common things.
Yes.
And I gotta say that I was proud of you all, right? The young man, I believe Santiago was his last name. He talked about how he thanked the teachers for having patience with him. Well, I thank you for showing up, because it's one thing to have an opportunity and a dropped opportunity, right? So I thank you all for showing up and seeing you. I was looking up the statistics of people of color in aviation, and it's less than 10%, right? If we're talking pilots, it's 4%, right? And that's not the division between men and women. I can keep going, and the number goes down and down. So it's proud to see people from my community who are going to fill this gap, right? And bring numbers higher and bring diversity, because we need diversity in every industry that we have in America, right? And another thing is, first, the video, you all were sharp. Can I borrow some soup? All right. You know, you all were looking good in the video. So
Got him from the suit, man.
Showing up for
Down the street.
for the position, trying to learn, right? I wrote a bunch of things down because I was just so excited. I didn't want to forget anything. All the different pill exposures. Oh, the last thing I would say is knowing that you all are entering the aviation field makes me feel safe. All right. I'm an avid traveler. And I don't know if you all have been watching the news. They have wheels falling off, doors falling off, right? And I'm confident that you all will get in there and fill those gaps and make sure that I can fly safely where I would like to go.
Hello?
You got me. Thank you.
You got her?
Okay. So again, congratulations to you all. And Carla, you too, right? I know you're behind us, but you as well. You did a tremendous job. You're making us proud. And keep up the good work. Excel in your positions.
Thank you.
One thing I would like to add, even though I'm acting mayor, I'm actually also city council president. Each one of the participants will be getting a certificate from city council, but I would like to make it more of a bigger deal. So I don't know if August or September, but we'll coordinate.
Okay.
I would absolutely like to have a ceremony to honor everything that they've done.
Oh, wow. That's
All right.
great. Oh, wow. And I think there's a Tyler. Tyler, are you still on the Zoom? Can you just show your picture?
Hello all. Hi.
So Tyler is one of the family of Bits, and they don't call each other teammates or colleagues. They're like family. So Tyler came here as well and make sure that the youths, she's one of the person behind the movement on the Bit side to make sure all of this took place. And I really collectively want to say thank you to the Captain Irvington, but as well as Tyler, because she's here. She's amazing.
Thank you, everyone. My
So,
name is Tyler
yes.
Barreto.
Oh, yes. She brought the snacks too.
She was
Tyler,
talking. We couldn't-
Dina, remember about the snacks? And they were amazing. I took like 3/4 of those.
Oh, now I feel like I'm missing out. I'm not there.
I would like to say there's another crazy idea that is coming through my gala. And if you do the research, and I know Councilwoman will do it Brown, because she loves her research, that there's really no scholarship for youth out there that are failing, been to jail, D students, C students. When it comes to the A and B students, they pretty much had it made, their scholarship out there from wherever. But we deal with kids that are vulnerable. I don't like using the word at risk. There's something that I'm trying to stop using, because technically all of our youth is at risk if we don't do what we need to do as a community. So to put at risk at a separate group, I think that's unfair. So we're going to call them vulnerable youth. So this gala, the proceeds will go to our most vulnerable youth who actually don't want to go to the traditional route of going to a 4-year or 2-year college. The proceed will go for programs like this: aviation, mechanic, HVAC, you name it, but trading school. So it's our first gala celebrating 59 years. And so anyone in the audience, if you want to, there's tickets on sale. There's only technically, as of today, 2 weeks left for my gala, 7/24/24 at the Green Tree. I even made it a nice date intentionally so we could all remember it, 7/24/24. Sound like a nice lotto number. But so please come out, support. Tickets are $200, but just remember the reason behind the gala. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you again. If it's okay with council, we'll move on to Con Edison. All right. No pressure, Con Edison.
Every time I come here, I'm inspired. And I forget why I'm here. He did it again. Last time was the visits to the colleges, which was great. Greg Camoulis here. Thanks again for having us here. Greg Camoulis from Con Edison. This is our 3rd time with you all. We were here last April and then last June. It's been a year already. And the reason why you haven't heard from us from a year is because we really hadn't had the opportunity from the Public Service Commission to advance our project in the last year. We just finally got the approval back in April, and we just started kicking off some of the engineering. We can finally get funding to engineer this project and kick it off. And it was the perfect time to reconnect again. And we're working with your agencies. So I just wanted to thank again for aviation. They left already, but like I went to aviation high school in New York City. I'm a certified aircraft mechanic. It's a passion. It's a great field. All my friends from high school, they're in the airline. So, I mean, you guys touch my heart every time I come here. It's incredible. But yeah, that's a great program. I mean, really, really inspirational. I want to introduce my team here. I'm not talking tonight. Janana here. She's our lead. Some new members here. She's our lead for the Mount Vernon project, working with the engineering firm, making sure everything gets done correctly and designed well.
the mic. Okay, we're good to go. All right, thanks. Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Would you like me to
One.
do a quick recap or continue?
You can. One.
I'm fine. As far as I'm concerned, I'll do whatever. Sure. Okay.
Second.
You sure? I'm going to back to the next slide.
Yes, please. Second. There we go.
Then was, Jason and Janana will put it here. Here from the City Council of Mount Vernon to ask for permission for Con Edison to build a new building for a thermal energy network. The launch of the line.
Okay. Sure.
So, we are proposing to build a thermal energy network because we're required by the state to propose a network. So we proposed a that was approved for engineering design on April 9th of this year, 2024. And we anticipate that a decision will be made by the Public Service Commission whether or not this pilot project can actually be constructed. We're anticipating that decision by the middle of 2025. There are numerous benefits to the city and the residents of Mount Vernon. I think my case, my plea would be that the most important is it's a fossil fuel free energy. It doesn't create pollution, doesn't generate pollution on site. And up to 76 buildings are able to participate in some completely voluntary participation by the residents in Mount Vernon. And we can go to the next slide. And section. Here on slide 4, sharing a Mount Vernon map that actually indicates where the thermal energy network can be. So the boundaries are West 4th Street to West 2nd Street, from South 9th Avenue to South 6th Avenue. First, just Loop 2 and South to South 7th Avenue. The red lines that you see on the screen are the thermal energy network. That's actually the pipe that's going to be buried underground in the streets. And then each building along that loop the service line, the thermal energy service line, to the tubes. All of the buildings along the perimeter, so along that red line, all of the buildings are thermal energy network, with the exception of the star-shaped buildings. Those are the load of those buildings. We would love to be able to host the load, but with the way that it's designed, there's not enough load to feed those 5 buildings just yet. So hopefully this pilot project that we would love to be able to accommodate more loads. But just so all 76 buildings are eligible to call Con Edison to make an appointment for an inspection of the existing heating and cooling equipment. Okay, I think you guys can hear me. You see that there's a yellow star at the Doles Recreation Center. That's where I would like to speak to the test hole that we need to drill. And the test hole is going to tell us the soil thermal conductivity, so that we can actually know how much load precisely we can hold in thermal energy network. And that really four field is made up of 4 holes, so we know. The last thing I'll say about this is that the fire station is again, it's on 7th Ave, West 3rd Street, and it's ideally located between those two. And it's an ideal location for an energy center. We can move on to the next slide. And so critical for the stage that we're in for engineering design, right, is to find the location of the energy center, and we build our test local at the Dole Center and conduct energy audits for any building that wants to participate in the use. Great. So here's some specific details about the energy center building. We've spoken has been many discussions directly with the city of Mount Vernon with our director tonight, Robin Mack, Jane Brooks, as well as Dennis Boyd's Joe and Commissioner Bush. And we jointly propose this new energy center building that can be a shared space. External facade is shown to match the fire station, but that's just a possibility. It's a rendering. It doesn't have to be this way. Obviously, regulations are required by the DOT, and certainly if the community doesn't want it to look like the fire station, that it's just a representation, in short. And so this is a two-story building that we're proposing. The top floor would be like City of Mount Vernon for public safety office space. The first floor of the energy center building, by Con Edison, as a control center. And the basement is what would be used to power the equipment that's needed to operate. So valves, meters, such would be located in the basement.
This is the building here.
Yes, that's it. Thank you very much for the clarification. Yes. Corner of West Third.
Yeah, somewhere on that property.
Wherever you tell us. It's where we're going to put it, but that corner would be ideal.
Okay. So I have a couple of questions in regards. So, number one, we have our emergency management team on the second floor of that fire, right? That's our ODM center. I love the fact that you guys are going to get a public safety second floor. The one thing that I would ask, it doesn't mean that you guys have to do it, but an upgrade of any telephone systems or emergency systems within that building be a part of your investment there. Also, I want to make sure that the community garden, if that is going to be disrupted in that area, that you identify an area on the property and help to cultivate that to remain there. And I also want to understand what the rental agreement, like you're basically building a building on city-owned property. So I'd like to understand that agreement also. But, you know, one of the things that really lacks is investment in infrastructure, right? And if there's a way that can actually upgrade the communications system there, that, you know, reverberate to the other townhouses, I would absolutely advocate it. But also the rental, like how does that work when you guys build, you know, structure?
Can we comment on that?
Yeah, it's part of the process, right? As we get to our next step, first step is feasibility, functionality. Could it be there? If the answer is yes, it can be there, let's continue the conversation we're already having, figure out what makes the most sense, what we can and can't do. Understanding that everything we do has to go back to public service commission to approve the project, right? So adding it to the floor seems like something that could be very reasonable to help the community and things that. But you'll continue to work with Robin and change the other details. And we are saying I'm going to talk to your business side and real estate side.
Yeah, just to be clear, I expect that's just something that I'm interested in. So big.
Great question. That's why Grace. So for those in the hard. Any position or something. So that was really that's the main ask that I want to propose to the council. I also wanted to bring up the listed could go back. I listed out two items. So that this project could actually be considered by the student. And this is that other item. And it's a bit of an undertaking, but it needs to be done so that properly engineer, design, the thermal energy network. And so what we're proposing to the whole center. That proposed site for boreholes, and boreholes are narrow, they're small, they're identified as wells. So what this is a 6-inch diameter hole in the ground, 800 feet deep. And we need to do some testing. It's about a 3-week process that we're doing. At the site while we're there, there's going to be that red ring that you see, very similar to that located at the Clerk Center. And it's going to be there for 2 weeks, and then all we do is the testing of the soil, and then another backfill it and up and make sure that like we did what we needed, with the exception that there's going to be a cover, that's in all
It's like really for Director Matt and Director Cook. I know we're looking at an expansion of the Dolphin.
And we are kind of this is something we're looking to do in the fall, and we're earning this.
Yeah, so, yes, my question is a little bit from elementary. Forgive my ignorance when it comes to technology and science. I know you said it's completely, it's clean, there's no pollution of site. Is there any other potential environmental harm? I don't know, radiation or that,
For geothermal energy,
Yeah.
no, I think it's a good question. No. What's inside the pipe is water, and so what could happen is that someone digs up the street could damage the pipes. If the gas main is damaged, there is methane. And hydronically, so the water that's in the pipe not touch the water that's inside of the house. There's big changes, so there's no cross contamination from anything. That water has to be clean because the pumps that run it are sensitive, so the water has to be clean, but and there are antimicrobial agents that are inserted into water to make sure that it's clean. But that water is not going to be, it's not mixed with the water of the home. So there are no contaminants. The biggest worry is an emergency situation that could unfortunately happen with any commodity and electric gas.
Okay. And I guess, I don't remember how the plan started or the steps of the I guess just a little backstory on how did we get here? I guess how are we so fortunate to finally doing similar programs? Why not run one?
So Connell proposed 3 pilot projects according to how we got here from the very beginning. Back to 2022. So July of 2022, the New York State law was amended to allow utilities in New York State to own the ports. And then 2 months after that, the public issued an order saying the utilities can own them, but the 7 largest utilities in New York State, you must propose a minimum of 1 pilot project for thermal energy ports and up to 5. And that was September 2022. And then we did know that no utility tree networks. And so it was quite an undertaking to figure out how to control the project. Also, around that point, but they issued a request for information first and then a request for proposals. And so we got 9 projects that was around the territory of Westchester and Manhattan that were considered. And so 2 projects in Manhattan were selected as pilot projects. We wanted to focus 5. But with the information that we got, we wanted to show we had something in Manhattan to address the large. We wanted something. Service territory doesn't. And we felt that Westchester was important to look at. I think that there was a proposal for things, but we felt that Westchester was important to look at because it's such a large. And we had this project actually started as a gas geothermal pilot project that the gas department first looked at. They did some first investigations, and when they ran their estimate calculation, put it back to the PSC number, was they estimate the cost of the gas avoid doing gas main replacement versus doing a project is much cheaper to do a gas main replacement. So that project was had a lot of information that they gathered, such a good thing that we don't throw away the resources. Now that we've actually used that information, work that us had done. So we focused on Mount Vernon for that. There was another project also proposed Mount Vernon, North Heat Recovery Project, which we just didn't feel technically that we had at that point to propose a project, and so we asked the community for a suitability study, but that actually and city purchase study as well, which is also in Manchester. Unfortunately, so we did propose 5 projects, 3 full pilot projects and 2 feasibility studies. The PSC did not have feasibility studies, so we did 3 pilot projects that we proposed: Chelsea and Rockefeller Center.
Sure. I still didn't really get why our learning was a good choice.
Yeah. I do want
the original study that was done back in 20, the 12 parts, right? How we ended up not running. Right. So the original study looked at where do we have, we call it leak-prone gas pipes, but really it just means like really old gas pipes, right? That tend to leak a lot, right? And there's some that are very old. There's one piece of pipe in this project area that's 1890, the 8-inch cast iron piece of pipe, and it leaks a lot. And the question becomes not just in Thailand or New York, but across the country, people are replacing these old gas pipes. Is there another solution? Should be invested in this whole thing, right? So that sparked the first study that brought. They looked at 20 different sections of leak-prone pipes across the service territory, New York City, and one of them had to be in Mount Vernon. And they took it down to the last 2 potential locations, and one of them was on South 7th, in Mount Vernon. The other one was the Bronx. And then again, they had no funding for those. So the PSC didn't provide a way to actually build them. When the law got passed, suddenly there was legs to build the project for the first time. So when we did look at some projects in Manhattan, we looked back at what was done, which I said. But that was a time, which just those 9 buildings that got 1 section 500 feet of pipe. So we said, what do we think of engineers? Let's look at this area and could we expand that to an actual community, be more than just one block? And that's when we started looking at what are the buildings in the area. And when we started looking at, wait a second, there's some great use of individual buildings, there's green space there, there's diverse load, this could be a good candidate. And that's why we ended up further developing. So starting from that first study, and that's how we ended up in Mount Vernon.
I would just add to that. So I think what was intriguing and important is that there's an additional level of municipality government that we need to figure out how to traverse in order for energy technology such as this to be explored and handled accordingly, both by the municipality but also by the utilities. So we're going to really look to see if for Westchester and Brooklyn and Bronx that look a lot like Westchester, this extra level of municipal government that it's important to deal with head on because Westchester is so large and well, look at and hopefully Mount Vernon gets a status of construction.
I just want to make sure, and I think I said this from the beginning when I first came to Mount Vernon, I want to make sure that there's no disruption in service to the residents. I think that's a priority for us because I feel like those split heater air conditioners was a disaster of the program in Mount Vernon. So I just want to make sure it's supported. I love the fact that you guys have designated somebody to, be the, point person. What is your outreach going to be in that area?
And we could go to the next slide. It was firstly an important important step for us to make sure that we're actually working with people, try to reach out to you and ideas that we had a year ago. And so in speaking with the representatives, we're a little bit more educated about the types of communication and what's so we developed outreach that we asked. And so we sent out first outreach letters to our customers at the end of June of this year, of course, to raise awareness of the Terminal Network. We are involved because Con Edison is running this is our project, but this is also outside of the so we sent out outreach material to introduce ourselves with the idea of and we are sending our first email this week. We need to conduct those in-building inspections and like a test run to make sure that we are ready customers and then what we are and we have our first set of appointments actually for 2 weeks from today. Our first was on July 22nd. We are presenting the customers with home energy kits once we're completing the inspection. A few light bulbs and some insulation.
Just to interrupt you. So I found that a lot of residents when these notices don't actually believe them and end up contacting the city to make sure that they reach, right? So when you say that you're having your public, presentation, who is actually going to be a part of that and where are you going to have that?
We're scheduled to do some neighborhood, and so we'll for the most part are going to be in Mount Vernon. But just a highlight though, just specifically, it's not a large area where it's on those blocks, right along the Medicine Energy Network. Because unfortunately we don't want to we're just a block and a half away. So we're going to be canvassing actually here with the County Outreach in that residents to ourselves. And in times of indulgence.
But I'm gonna reiterate that you can do as many door knocks as you want to do. If you don't have someone representing the city, that 90% of the time, the people will not open the door to you because they don't recognize you, they don't know who you are. So what is your plan on more of, like, if you can't do a public forum on it, what type of material will you be giving to the city or our administration groups to put on our website? So that, just to give you an example, we had like a warranty program, I think it was with the sewer lines. And even though, you know, the city advocated, we still have people contacting us, asking us, is this legit? Right? So I want to make sure that even though it's a small area, that we make sure that we have representation of the city in anything that you guys do, and whatever we have to advertise, we make sure that our communication is on top of it and coordinated with you guys, because, you know, we're not a trusting community. You know, a lot of times people come in and take advantage of our community. They don't know, right? So I think it's really important that whatever communication we put out to the residents, that again, our IDA director of environmental services is apprised of everything so that it's a coordinated.
Thank you. That's a great idea. I understand your question and see what comments. Take care.
Right? Yeah, sorry, if you guys could put us in contact with who to send them to, we send them to our contacts, but to get you to get the right people, to get the right effect, right? For sure.
Yes, I just have 40 questions. I'll just say, you know, I think it'll be a wonderful project. Just gotta ensure that it's beneficial to the residents of my right? First I'd like to talk about the outreach portion, as Lisa said. Con Ed, not when you're doing the Western answers, Con Ed, I think Con Ed's been looking with partly training residents to actually partner with and go in those areas where these residents live, so you can get there or think outside the box and put in for a block party, right? And you have all of the residents in that area outside of that present. And it's just put the little hamburger, hot dog, little whatever the case may be. And it's a block party there. And everyone is there. You have a wonderful speaker and you let them know exactly what's going on. And they know that this is factual because they see not only the residents of there, but they'll see the elected officials throughout the city as well. So, you know, that's just something to think outside the box to get that out. You know, it only costs you about $1 million, but you know, you got it. No, but I think that's a great way to get it out. I also wanted to say I would hope that you've been in discussion with the city as well as DPW, because directly in that area we just had some work done, right? So I believe if we open our streets up one time, Con Ed do what you have to do, DPW does what they have to do, and then we have our streets closed from curb to curb properly. So if we're gonna inconvenience our residents, we just inconvenience one time, opposed to continuing coming back. You know, so that's just to put that up. But yeah, get the residents involved. A block party is a great way to do it. All right. Food makes people come out. I'll be there.
Is it on? Can you hear me?
I have three questions. The first one is to Greg. Greg, you were here last year and we had a wonderful conversation about going to be the blackest city north of the Dixon line. I wish to have as many that working in the job, especially since it's not going to be common workers working, but you're going to deal with that contract. And you had mentioned at the time you would come back with a plan for how to get that done. So I'm just curious when you plan to present the WB contract.
Yep.
So we can.
Absolutely, yeah. So, great, we've actually working together. We have a plan in place. The same plan we laid out last time. We're ready to execute. We weren't ready before, right? The project wasn't approved in design. But the plan is to come host that, whether in person or webinar, where we present to the local in the area what we need for the project to build it. We get to build it, and what it takes to become a certified common contractor, right? And enable them with what they need. So right now we're working together on getting the list, Robin, of what are the skill sets. Which we have the list already. We're really the details now. Kind of picking the date and having it go. I'm not getting going earlier than later. So those contractors that can get involved can go through that process of becoming the financial contractor. So there are some, in any big corporation, right? Insurance levels or whatever. But if they're serious about wanting to do it, they can do it. Now, some of the skills that we need here, they're available locally, right? Whether it's some skills are not, right? Drillers or thermal energy network design engineers. They just find a lot of them in the States, nonetheless, just local. But that's fine. We have legs to do it now, right? We had ideas before. Right? So the best we can do is bring you ideas, and now we actually have really written down picking a date, right, Robin?
Yeah. Thank you.
We just got to pick a date for the webinar. Yeah, we already had preliminary talks on what's for them.
And then please share those dates with us as soon as possible so that we can do that.
Absolutely. I mean, that all works if they come, right? We need your public.
So my second question is, and Council President mentioned briefly, but I want to talk about the boring. When you bore a hole, it's a nuisance. The sound is a nuisance, the dust is a nuisance. When that happens, what's your plan for someone to say, God, there's dust coming onto my site, or that there's noise that I wasn't expecting, or that my basement is shaking from the boreholes that you did?
I mean, so let's have it in order. So dust, maybe dust. Again, it's not a, it's the kind of, it helps sometimes with the work. So the whole of this is one hole fits into. Put the mic. The drill is one hole. You get it. It's about this big. About the drill diameter, right? So the equipment's big because it has a little deep. So the dust is locally it gets a little messy, right? Yeah, that's why we're gonna put like nice fencing around the garden of grass. But it's not noise.
Based on my experience, and I've done some soil testing, which is very similar. There's a lot of dust in that. It's very much self-contained. A bigger hole might have created something, but not a 6-inch.
Right. No noise while they're drilling, moderate noise. Probably the most. Not like power driving where you hear like bang. But there is some noise when they're drilling. They'll drill in about a day. To be honest, like 1 day of drilling. There's a period of about 48 hours that we have to simulate the system working for that hole. Basically, we warm the water up and run it through to see how well the ground can conduct and pull that heat in and out. To do that, you need a generator that lasts 48 hours. So, to be honest, a generator for 48 hours on the doors of the grass will be the loudest noise coming off that pipe. That's a real thing. After that, we do care of our listeners. We want to have nice, tight construction fencing. Want to be cleaned up. We're done. We're going to put back. We're going to solid. Right? Looks nice now. I mean, I go by it again today. I hear that by it. That's not the direct open.
And last question, again, piggybacking off of what President Gleason said, the building and rent. So as I listened to you, it sounded like you were saying, which is fine, some ways would be our that you have in your building. If that's the case, again, you tell us, if that's the case, I would ask, if you're gonna build one extra floor, maybe you could go two. That's what I mean, that's fine. Okay, we need to go. You did have to write it back. No, about that.
I would just like to see the internet into modern state for an extra floor, the two floors, just make sure the systems.
So again, I'll say it, right? So yes, it's hard, right? So now we're giving up floors, right? There's a couple things that we're gonna have to work out. I'll get into a little bit of time, but we're gonna have to get it offline, right? There's, the borehole, using space to build the borehole, that's putting the building there, and adding the floor on. Whatever cost that we take on as Con Ed, it's not a Con Ed decision, right? Believe it or not, right? You guys know the process now. We put it in what we think the project's gonna cost. We file it with the Public Service Commission, and the commission determines what it is. So that's where we're trying to keep, what we can believe is reasonable in those costs. But we do need the right people, because there are a couple of push factors, even as much as the upgrades to the building. Right? Don't forget here, we didn't talk about it today. Firehouse gets new HVAC systems. Dole Center gets all new HVAC systems, right? And electrical upgrades if they're required, right? So those are city of Mount Vernon buildings. So all of those kind of go into the big equation of the Con Ed and Mount Vernon map problem that has to get figured out, which we will work together to figure it out. So, they're also customers, right? So all that kind of goes into play here. Those are the kind of core buildings that
Doing this project, right? We can't do it without the Dole Center lot. We want the Dole Center to be a participant. We want the fire station to be a participant, and we need an energy center, right? So yes.
Any of that?
That's it.
Councilman
This is
Thompson?
my one last thing. Because we talked about the fire department and the Dole Center, but also if we can see if there's some way to, because we know that area and we know that area well, right? So if there's something that we can put in place for our police department, maybe on the I'm saying on the ceiling, on the
Security.
rooftop or something like that.
Well,
'Cause we
no,
know-
it says second floor, public safety, so.
Yeah, but I'm talking, that's the floor, that's inside. I'm talking about something outside.
Snipers?
Per se, like, cameras, on top or whatever, I'm always thinking outside the box, what's gonna be beneficial to the city, right? So, possibly cameras on the top of the building, making sure the building is well lit, whatever the case may be, so.
Mike, please.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
The bike.
Still Greg. Yeah, it's a critical facility for us too. So like the Mount Vernon side, I have a separate entrance, secure entrance. Ours will be too, but again, this is key. That's the heart of the whole system. And it's gonna have a control center. So, it may not be 24-hour occupied. I don't know what the right term is. Persons.
Yeah, but you could have 24-hour cameras.
Absolutely.
That could be surveilled
Yeah,
by
yeah.
the Mount Vernon Police.
Yeah, my point is we're definitely going to have surveillance and high security over that area, but it's a high secure area, just like a substation of ours, something like that.
Absolutely, that's it. Thank you so much. So just make sure you partner with the police department, just see what their need would be in that area. Thank you.
And also, yeah, when we forgot to mention this part too. Part of this is also having an area so we can have educational, very similar to what the program we had here, where we can have a place to bring the youth in, bring the trades in to see what we're doing, see the system. That's a big part of this. And having it not buried and tucked away somewhere, but having it as a building to be proud of in the community is a big part of what we're doing, why we like the spot so much, which is why we're partnering, which is why we think it's beneficial, especially if it's a Mount Vernon and Con Ed building. It shows that partnership.
I think that's awesome. So Greg, education is great. Jobs are better. So hopefully we can create a pipeline for our children. But thank you all, council members. I'm assuming we're good on questions. All right. Thank you very much. Have a great night. I think we need to.
Well, you're the boss.
We're gonna move into the public comment period.
Yeah, not right now.
All right. And we are
My favorite part. Thank you.
Thanks for thinking.
Those who are here and those who are online, we're moving into the public comment period. So when I call your name, please repeat your name when you get on the mic. And give us state your name and your address. You have 4 minutes to talk. At the 3-minute mark, do we have the buzzer in here? At the 3-minute mark, you'll hear a buzzer, which indicates that you have 1 more minute to go. All right. All the council members will give a response to all comments at the end of the public comment session. So when we get to the last speaker, that is when we'll be able to respond to you all. All right. So we're gonna get started with Christopher Gold. He is online.
Gold, come off mute and
Again, Mr. Christopher Gold. We'll come back to him. Egypt Allen. Egypt Allen. All right, we'll come back to Egypt Allen. I have Vernon James.
Vernell James.
All right. Go ahead.
Again, my name is Vernon James. I'm doing business as Letitia Gotash. I'm just here as a point of reference. Letitia Gotash has made a proposal to the Recreation Department, and the Recreation Department will be co-sponsoring a time capsule project, which I have sent the information on to Miss Antoinette Anderson. So I just wanted to introduce myself. And the reason why I proposed this time capsule project, Time Capsule of Hope, is because 30 years ago in the district, I buried a historical time capsule with my 7th graders. And at that time, there were no computers, so they did research in the library. Right now, as it stands, we do have a date, which is October 18th. We are still looking for a burial ground. I have given that information to Mr. Eric Crump, and they are looking with DPW to see if there's a park or at City Hall, it can be a burial ground. If not, I've also reached out to the Mount Vernon Library. I have copies of the original submissions from the children, as well as from the then president at the time, which was William Clinton, to the PTA president of Mount Vernon. So it went from the federal down to the local. So I just want to give you a heads up, and I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm right now trying to go to the town hall that they have at the church, and I was on another call. But like I said, I just want to introduce myself to you and the work that we're doing in the community. It is basically a community time capsule. We're trying to get as many people in the community, the local businesses, all the pillars, which is the education department, the library, the city council, and administration, to cooperate in this effort. One of the things that I've already started to do is I have rented a booth for City Fest that I will be using as a focal point to get folks at that time, because it is so well attended. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to all of you and to introduce myself to the City Council.
Avenue. I've given to the city clerk a copy of a proposal for each of you to take a look at, as well as a copy of some statistics from the Hudson Gateway Association of Realtors. Essentially, I'm asking the city council to change the law on how properties are disposed of in the city of Mount Vernon. At the current moment, the city of Mount Vernon owns about between 15 and 20 properties that they can dispose of. And the city is going to be facing a crisis in terms of budget. So in order to handle that crisis, either the city will have to raise taxes as they did with the transfer tax at the end of 2023, or they'll have to reduce services, or they'll have to issue bonds. So this proposal is a way to solve the city's problem in terms of how much money they're going to need coming up, as well as address other problems that are coming to the city of Mount Vernon. For example, the last time the city did an auction for properties that they could dispose of was about in 2016, 2017, around that. So it's been about 8 years since the city has actually had an auction to dispose of properties, which means that anyone who has been not paying their taxes between then and now is in the next 24 months going to receive notices from the city to bring their tax current or face foreclosure. That will cause a wave of foreclosures in the city of Mount Vernon. Some of those people will be able to work out payment plans. Some of those people will not, which means the city will have all these properties that they'll have to dispense of. So far, the auction process allows those insiders who are connected to be able to get those properties. So if you're an insider, if you're a developer, if you're well-connected and you're well-informed, you'll show up at an auction in a room of like 10 or 20 people, you'll bid on the property and you'll be able to get that property. The proposal that I am proposing here adds to the current disposition. If you look on page 4 of the proposal, properties offered for sale through the department, which is option 1, which is what it is now. The department itself can sell properties through an RFP or through an auction process if they wish. But on page number 5, properties marketed through the city's designated real estate broker is an additional proposal that we'd like the city to adopt, which is partnering with the real estate community to allow those properties that are foreclosed to go into the market with real estate partners so that the public has a fair chance to bid on those properties and that the city can realize the maximum potential for sale for those properties that are going up for bid. This report from the Hudson Gateway Association of Realtors tells us that in June of 2024, the average single-family house sold for $750,000. That is the highest amount that a single-family house has ever sold for in the city of Mount Vernon. The rolling 12-month average for properties in the city is $640,000, which lets us know the prices are increasing. They have been. If you look at the blue line at the bottom of the chart, that is the average for a single family house for the last 10 years. That average has been going up every year for the past 20 years, and it's going to continue to go up. So there is an affordability crisis in the city of Mount Vernon, in the state of New York, and in the country for that matter. The proposal that we submitted addresses that by allowing city-owned residents, by allowing city employees to have an advantage in bidding those properties against people from the outside. So for example, an owner-occupant purchaser could receive a 10% bonus in terms of the bidding process versus somebody else. If you are a Mount Vernon resident, you could receive a 5% bonus in bidding versus somebody else. On the top of page 6, if you're a full-time city employee, you could receive a 5% bonus compared to someone else, and those things could be cumulative. So if you're a city worker and a resident and you're a city employee, you can get a 20% bonus in terms of bidding versus somebody else. What will that do? That will allow people in the city to compete on those city-owned properties to give them a chance for home ownership. Because most folks who live in the city of Mount Vernon right now cannot afford a $750,000 home. And those people will be forced to rent. A quarter of the homes sold last year went to corporations as opposed to homeowners, because now corporations have discovered that owning property and renting it out is a good business, good business decision. And so therefore, people who are trying to purchase homes are being priced out and becoming renters. That's part of the affordability challenge. And so the proposal that I am presenting addresses
the challenge to Mount Vernon residents as well as the challenge to the city in being able to bring revenue back into the city. This is going to happen, not a matter of if it will happen, it will happen. There will be a foreclosures, there will be a number of properties that the city needs to dispose of. And the old system of using auctions does not work. It does not serve the residents of Mount Vernon. It does not serve the city. It gives the property away at a lesser price than if it were on an open market and city residents could bid on it. Anyone in this room and anyone listening to me right now, if you wanted to buy a property, you would open your phone, you would go to a website, you would type in an address, and the property would come up posted by a realtor somewhere. That property is guaranteed to make sure that it satisfies fair housing. That property is guaranteed to make sure that the person who put the property on the market is getting the highest price for their property. Why doesn't the city use that same advantage that every homeowner in the country knows about to be able to sell its properties as well? We should start updating the way that we dispose of our properties to make sure that we don't have to cut services to the program that we saw earlier, like the youth program or any services that we offer, and that we can make sure that the realtor community, who are the experts in real estate, coupled with the law department from the city of Mount Vernon, to make sure that we can dispose of assets in a quick way and put money back into the city's pockets and still make sure that our residents can afford to live here and still make sure that we are satisfying fair housing. So I'd like you to consider adopting this plan as the law for the city of Mount Vernon. And if it's been prepared, other cities in Westchester County as well in New York State do a similar thing. So there are precedents for how this works. And I'd like you to consider that.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna go back to the top. Did Mr. Christopher Gold join us?
Yes, I'm here.
Are you speaking?
Are you there? Yes, are you able to hear me? Hello? Hello? Come on. You fucking. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we are.
Yes, that was actually a great topic that was just spoken about before regarding the city-owned properties. I actually have a property that was taken back in 2012 in Rim. I was actually taken back incorrectly, and it was actually sold off in 2016 without the proper procedure. And I'd like to try to talk to the city council to try to present documents as far as showing them exactly what happened with the in-rim process. And this property has actually been in the city coffers for the last 12 years with nothing happening with it. No rent being collected on it. Again, you know, and where this property is actually where there's a development that's supposed to take place. So my big question is, how many other properties are like this, where the in-rim process wasn't properly followed and people are getting their properties, taken from them without due process? Are you there?
Does that conclude your comments, Mr. Gold?
No, it doesn't. One of the reasons why I'm speaking tonight is I was actually watching a real estate committee board meeting back on June 28th, where somebody bought a property back in 2016, the auction that my fellow realtor was just talking about. And he had actually purchased this property, put a deposit down 8 years ago, and for some strange reason, he still hasn't taken possession of this property. Well, this property is the property that I'm telling you guys about, as far as my father, John Goad, the owner of Goad Real Estate. He actually just passed away about a year ago. He actually had a first position mortgage on a property, and pretty much the city never served us notice regarding them taking the property. And when we found out regarding them taking the property, we had reached out, and the person we had spoken to, Corporation Counsel at the time, Lawrence Vicari, he pretty much lied to us, and he ended up going to prison or jail, whatever. But I was told by a city official, I can't mention any names, that a lot of these properties were taken back without the proper procedures being done. And with the people of Mount Vernon paying so much money in taxes, I mean, you know, the law has to be followed. Due process has to be done. So I just want the city council to take a look at this one particular property. And I would love the opportunity to pay whatever the back taxes were, not even the back taxes that were taken when the property was taken initially, but 12 years of the city owning it. I would like the opportunity to pay whatever those back taxes would be, just so the city wouldn't lose out. And again, you know, this property was sold at auction, but was never given to a developer. It's actually a developer it was sold to, but it was never transferred over to this developer. And I actually just seen on the real estate committee board meeting last month that this developer now is trying to get this property from the city. So I've been in talks with with Corporation Counsel, but I'd just like to, come tonight on, Zoom, just to mention that, a developer who had a successful, bid at the auction 8 years ago, never got this property mentioned. And this property was a property that we had first mortgage on, and it was never properly, the interim process was never properly done. And I'd like them to take a look at it.
Egypt Allen? Is Egypt Allen online? Thank you, Mr. Gold.
Thank you very much.
Is Egypt Allen online? All right, and Ms. Dolores Mack. Has she joined online? No. All right, that concludes comments from the public. We're gonna get into city council member responses. And we're gonna start with Councilman Box Hill.
All right, good evening, everyone. It's been a long night so far. We're getting through it. So thank you, Mr. Hollingsworth. Hello. The auction, I think I agree with you. It definitely needs to be updated. I happened to be there that day in 2016 because I conducted the auction. So definitely not an insider's thing. I think you were there that day. It was a packed room. It was standing room only and News 12 coverage. I think we had maybe 80 or 90 paddles of registered folks with verified funds to bid. So it was in the newspaper. It was on the website. It was definitely not an insider thing. It was well attended, and tons of people registered to bid. So, but yeah, for sure, there definitely can be updated. It's been a long time since the last auction, and I'm with you with this point. I think the only regret was that it wasn't opened up to city employees. I mean, I think as long as you didn't have an influence on the actual auction, if you're in the controller's office or you had something to do with the pricing of the said houses, I don't see any reason why police, fire, DPW, or other CSEA members are not able to bid. They're no different from any other Mount Vernon resident. So, and they have no influence on the actual outcome of the bidding. So yeah, I think the city employees should be able to bid at the auction. But yeah, so again, definitely can be updated, but I thought it was fair. I thought it was fair at the time. So yeah, but we can have a further discussion on that. Mr. Gold, again, so I'm sorry about your father's passing. Yeah, I do remember that property clearly. I think it was like a garage or an open field. And yeah, quite a few people that wasn't the only property that folks bid on and they didn't close. So what happens, some of them, they ended up forfeiting their deposit. And the city retained the property, and we didn't return their money if they didn't close. So, but I'm not sure what was the details with that particular property. But as far as that one, all the properties that were sold at the auction that day, they had, I'm talking about maybe 8 to 10 years going back of old taxes. So it wasn't an issue where, you know, it was souped onto them. They knew for a decade or so that no one was paying taxes. So now to say that there wasn't due process, I think that's not the whole story. But you're saying that which mortgage came first, or who? I guess that's a legal question to be handled by the legal department. So I really can't speak on that. But yeah, that's all my comments about the auction. And again, sorry again about your father's passing last year. That's all my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Box Hill. We're gonna go ahead to Councilman Thompson.
Thank you, Madam Acting President. You know, Box Hill entered 230 South 3rd Avenue. I'll look more into that because I'm not too familiar with what took place with that property. But I'll check with Corporation Counsel as well as our comptroller and assessor to see what's going on with that property and where they are with it. So you'll be hearing from us with that. For Mr. Hollandworks Falou, you know, my hope is to get every property in Mount Vernon that's vacant to those workers and residents in Mount Vernon who live in Mount Vernon to actually be able to acquire those properties. So any way that we can do that, that would be beneficial, because when you collect a paycheck and you take your paycheck elsewhere, the city does not benefit from you patronizing the businesses here, right? So it's always good to get residents who are already living here, who are interested in owning, to get into those properties. So we'll have to have more discussions to see how we can make that happen. Ms. James, thank you. I know you came last time as well. Thank you. You are partnered already with Recreation. I gave you a couple of other resources you could utilize. And any way we can help you get that done, you know, we'll do so. And that's all my comments for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Thompson. Councilman Potteet.
Thank you, Councilman Brown. I won't speak too long. Members Thompson and Boxell have said a lot. Ms. James, looking forward to your function. Ray, I think you're right. I think you're spot on that I think 2024 is in 2016. We didn't have apps in 2016 like we have now in 2024, so widely used. And marketing to the widest group possible is going to drive up price, and driving up price is beneficial to the city. So I hope that council, the comptroller, the real estate committee take your feedback, because I do think that it makes sense. And Mr. Goad, I would piggyback off of what Councilmember Boxell said, because he was there, and also defer to our corporation counsel on if they felt that 230 South 3rd Avenue was correctly disposed of or wasn't. Those are all my comments. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Councilman Potteet. Acting Mayor.
Thank you so much, Acting Council President. Number one, Ray, thank you so much for being here and being engaged. I think you bring up a lot of great ideas. I think that we have to get everybody in the room to be able to have that conversation regarding those city-owned properties, right? Mr. Goad, I'm actually kind of surprised that you're here tonight. Number one, I want to give you condolences on your dad. Great man in the city of Mount Vernon, definitely a Mount Vernon guy. But you are aware that the real estate committee is looking into the issues that you have brought up. You've come to several real estate committee meetings and it is being investigated, right? So I think that council would be remiss to even comment on that until that investigation is completed, right? So I appreciate you bringing it to light, but there's a lot of different avenues, a lot of different administrations that went through, that Corporation Council has been very clear about they're looking into it. I will follow up with it. And hopefully by the next real estate committee meeting, we'll have somewhat of an update. I'm not sure how intricate it will be, but I will stay on top of Corporation Council for that. As it pertains to the time capsule, I really can't wait for that to happen because I can't wait to open those and see what children had written way back then, right? So I'm excited about that. And those are all my comments for this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Acting Mayor Gleason. I won't repeat what Acting Mayor said about 230 South Third. I think, it's important for us to wait for that investigation to be completed. Ms. James, I'm also excited for your event to happen on October 18th, and see how that goes. Mr. Hollingsworth, Falau? Falu. All right. Yeah, I think the proposal is interesting. If you can actually come up to the mic, I have a few questions that I would like to ask. You said that this is being done in other municipalities. Can you tell me what municipalities?
So right now, I believe Peekskill or Greenberg, not Peekskill or, not Greenberg. Newburgh, Peekskill or Newburgh have this same, in fact, the draft of this proposal was taken from one of those towns.
Okay. All right, so a few things. So I'm assuming when you say that we work with real estate agents to get this out, that there is a commission that the real estate agents receive from this.
Correct.
Okay. When you say that the auction is not working because there are insiders, are you saying that there's not enough notice about the properties that are available that are city owned?
I'm saying the auction by its nature does not provide as much demand as it would if you were to put it with a real estate broker and then have it go out to the MLS, which reaches anybody who's looking for a property. So the nature of the auction is you have to be informed by the auction that this exists, or someone has to be looking for the auction to know that, as opposed to a buyer who's looking can go on the internet and see everything that's available. They don't have to be looking specifically for an auction. So it widens the pools of buyer. And because it widens the pool of buyers, therefore increases demand, thereby increasing the price.
But wouldn't more notice to residents of Mount Vernon help that issue?
It would help it for residents, but it wouldn't help it for someone who's not a resident looking to move in. And so therefore the resident would bid against less folks, thereby lowering the price. In the proposal, it gives an advantage to a resident. It gives an advantage to a city-owned, to a city employee as well. So if they're bidding against someone else, they have an advantage in terms of the bidding, which allows them to have more of an opportunity to get the property. But either way, we want as many people as possible to be able to participate in that system because it drives the price up and brings more money to the city of Mount Vernon.
So I guess the part that I was confused about is because you were talking about affordability, right? So if the price is driven up, then how does affordability stay down?
Because it has to be at market rate. So the property being sold has to be for whatever the property's worth to the person who's buying it. We have to make sure that's market rate property. But in terms of who's able to get that property, if we want to further the idea that we want our residents to buy properties, if you want to further the idea that we want city employees to have properties and give a chance for homeownership, then this allows them to have that advantage by still making sure that we're selling the property at market rate, but giving advantages to those groups that we feel deserve to have advantages for purchasing those properties.
So I find the proposal interesting. I haven't had a chance to go through it. I think, I'm currently working on, because I agree with you that city employees, public safety, you know, folks who are working in Mount Vernon, who have been living in Mount Vernon should have advantages when it comes to home ownership opportunities. I completely agree. I'm just not sure the right avenue, right? I think you can accomplish some of these things that we're talking about through land banks, through community land trusts, right? They're doing similar things without having to, right? With the land trust, we have the ability to make sure that we have affordability, right? With the land banks, we have the ability to make sure that there is, that we're revitalizing neighborhoods. And we could put stipulations in saying that we want Mount Vernon residents so that we're not displacing Mount Vernon residents by the rising home costs, right? So I guess what I would like to see is a happy medium. I'm not sure that this is going to accomplish, at least what I would hope that we would do in Mount Vernon is to limit displacement and open up opportunities in the city of Mount Vernon.
So the proposal has 5 different options of disposing of properties. Land banks could be one of them. So I discussed option number 3, but there are other options as well that allow the city council and the city to pick and choose which properties go and how each property is disposed of. I think that adding the disposition of working with realtors adds another dimension that addresses the specific problem that I mentioned, which is affordability, which is being able to have the residents take advantage of home ownership and this idea of what's happening in the market. We have to address what's happening in the market. There are corporations that are purchasing property that are going to be outbidding regular folks in Mount Vernon, in New York State, in the United States of America. And if we don't address it, we will have a population of properties that are owned by corporations and a population of renters that live in the city. Those renters will not be attending school board meetings. Those renters will not be attending to the neighborhoods the same way homeowners are.
No, I get that, Ms. Hollingsworth, right? I think we're on the same page that corporations are buying property up. I think where we are diverging a little bit is on the best approach, I think. So what I would obviously I didn't have time to go through it, so I would like an opportunity to go through it and possibly meet to discuss the actual proposal, because it's hard for me to just kind of spitball, but I just wanted to get some initial thoughts from you.
Sure.
So thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Council members, any other additional comments, questions? Are we good? Do we need a break? Very good. May we take a 3-minute break? you. All right, Mount Vernon, we are back from our break. And we are gonna get straight into our tally sheet. We're gonna start with legislation and public works. Co-chair, would you be able to cover that for me?
All right, number one, Mount Vernon Public Library, an ordinance granting permission to the Mount Vernon Public Library to hold its annual expo and approving related street closures and signage.
Sorry, a Facebook video is not showing.
Oh.
It's back.
All right, I'm gonna read that again. So number one, Mount Vernon Public Library, an ordinance granting permission to the Mount Vernon Public Library to hold its annual Comet Expo and approving related street closures and signage. That's September 22nd, 2024. And that's on the agenda. Number two, Public Works, Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the payment for the retroactive repair of the water fountain at the Gramerton Avenue roundabout, and that's on the agenda. All right, number three, Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the final contractual payment to PCI Industries Corporation for street resurfacing and ADA compliant handicap ramp installation. And that's on the agenda. Number four, Department of Public Works, an ordinance adopting the resolution for the New York State Department of Transportation Bridge, New York South Fulton Avenue and East 3rd Street Bridge Rehabilitation Project, BIN 2225220. And that is on the agenda. Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the release of requests for proposal RFP to establish citywide electric vehicle EV and plug-in hybrid EV, PHEV charging infrastructure capabilities. And that's on the agenda. All right, Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the advertisement for bids for various public work construction equipment rentals. And that's on the Department of Public Works, an ordinance declaring an emergency authorizing the replacement of the HVAC system in City Hall second floor, City Council room, and authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement. And we are in this room, so that's on the agenda. All right, number 8, Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the amendment of ordinance number 4 adopted by the City Council on August 14, 2023, entitled an ordinance authorizing the mayor to amend the original Arcades of New York agreement, Inc. agreement for an additional $1 million, a third of the final extension of the emergency contract for Arcades for the DEC consent decree. And that is on the agenda. Number 9. Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the city of Mount Vernon to solicit requests for proposal for the upgrade of the Edison Avenue pump station. That's on the agenda. And lastly, from Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the transfer of funds to support the engineering and design phase of the South Fulton Avenue Bridge Rehabilitation Project. And that's on the agenda. And the add-ons, got 3 add-ons. Okay. Number 19, Thomas Johnson, an ordinance authorizing the temporary closure of the 200 block of South 4th Avenue for the Positive Transition Annual Hilltop Cookout. And that's August 3rd, 2024, rain date August 10th, 2024. And that's on the agenda. All right, number 20, from the City Council, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Vernon, New York, recognizing and celebrating Johann S. Powell, Esquire. And that is on the agenda. All right, number 21, from the City Clerk, an ordinance authorizing City Councilwoman Danielle Brown to attend the New York State Conference of Mayors NICOM Fall Training School in Saratoga. That's September 16th to the 20th, 2024. And that's on the agenda. And that is all the items I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Box Hill. Human Resources.
Thank you, Madam Acting President. I have item number 11 from Recreation, an ordinance authorizing the acceptance of a donation from New City Park for repair of Madison Playground Safety Surface. That's on the agenda. Item number 12 from Recreation, an ordinance authorizing a partnership with the New York Presbyterian Division of Community and Population Health for community revitalization activities at Lee Old Man Park, and that's on the agenda. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Thompson. Public Safety and Codes.
Thank you, Acting Council President Brown. Item number 13 is held from the Department of Buildings and Ordinance authorizing the transfer of funds in the Department of Buildings budget. Item number 14 from Consumer Protection is for information purposes only. Item number 15 from Public Safety will be on the agenda, and ordinance authorizing the transfer of funds between budget lines funded through the American Rescue Plan, ARPA. Item number 16 from Public Safety will also be on the agenda, and ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Secure Watch 24 for the purchase of 21 tablet-style mobile computers for the Department of Public Safety. Item number 17 is called for an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an extension of expired agreement with Central Square for the renewal of the Department of Public Safety's software licensing and maintenance agreement. And I have one add-on from buildings, an ordinance authorizing the department to partner with eBizDocs and ICCCD, better known as Laserfish, for digital content management. And that's all I have, Council President.
Well, could you explain this add-on for eBizDocs and Laserfish?
So that's okay. It's my understanding that this add-on it's my understanding because we just got this today, as a response to the Secretary of State, and utilizing Laserfish to digitize our files. Oh, we sure would. So yeah, let them go through. Commissioner Holder?
Yes, council members, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, the Laserfish, we've been requesting this for a few years. We had funding through Assemblyman at one point, lost the funding, and now we're in a position where not only do we need it to digitize our files, but the state is also requesting that in terms of record keeping, we need to move in that direction. Hello, can you hear me?
Can you explain exactly what the letter is requesting? So this is my first time hearing about it, and I don't even know exactly what are you asking for our approval on?
We're asking for approval for to implement this new system through two companies, eBizDocs, who will collect all our files in our system. It's and then digitize them. So, and then the second company, ICC, which we currently use in the city right now, we'll put it into a Laserfish format and update all the data into our OpenGov systems, so that we were trying to eliminate, paper files. So to enter, like a lot of other building departments are now in the 20th century, where they have digitized files.
Yes. Commissioner Holder?
Yep.
I would ask that you explain the fact that this particular organization, from my understanding, is the only organization that is able to do this type of work to the capacity that we need them to do it to. And you said it was a part of eBiz, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, eBiz Docs, which is
Wait, so-
which is a NYSID vendor, NYSID.
Nice adventure.
I keep losing you, Councilwoman Brown.
Can you hear me, Commissioner Holder?
Yeah, now I hear you.
Okay, so yeah, well, what I was saying was it's a NYSID vendor. This is not about procurement because you can go out to a NYSID vendor without having to get additional. I guess what I'm trying to just understand the entire scope. I know the clerk's office is doing, so they have their own separate contract for the buildings department. Okay, I'm good. Any other council members have questions?
No, I'm good.
Councilman Potteet?
Thanks, guys. Just to clarify, this will be funded by ARPA funds, in
Yes.
case anyone in the public had a question.
Thank you.
I'm good.
All right, well, if we don't have any other questions, I don't believe finance and planning has anything on the agenda. We can head into the legislative session. Is that okay with everyone?
Yes.
All right, roll call. Yeah. Roll call, roll call, roll call, roll call.
Roll call?
Mm-hmm.
No? Pledge of Allegiance?
Roll call.
We didn't do the pledge? We didn't do the pledge? No. Did it happen?
Clerk Walters, we'll take the roll call.
All right, Councilman Boxill. Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Gleason.
Here.
Thank you. Councilman Potteet.
Here.
Councilman Thompson. Acting President Brown.
Here.
Thank you. You have a quorum.
Awesome. We'll go right into legislation and public works.
All right. Number one, Mount Vernon Public Library, an ordinance granting permission to the Mount Vernon Public Library to hold its annual Comet Expo and improving related street closures and signage.
So moved. Second. I can't do anything.
I was September 22nd, 2024. So moved.
I got you.
On the question, hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Boxill.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason.
Aye.
Councilman Potteet.
Aye.
Councilman Thompson. Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, number two, Department of Public Works and ordinance authorizing the payment for the retroactive repair of the water fountain at the Gramerton Avenue roundabout. So moved. Second.
On the question, hearing none, roll call.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Boxill.
Now that I'm reading it and I'm saying, did we look at the old legislation because we're still calling it the retroactive repair? And when I did look at it, it wasn't retroactive.
So we just remove that word then,
Yeah.
right? We can omit it on the floor.
And clerk, this is the second vote, correct?
This is the
Thank you.
second vote.
Out of curiosity, when you say it's not retroactive,
It
What do
was
you mean?
because the original payment was approved by the council. And I think you were the president at the time. And I think Caitlin Gleason was, based on the legislation, was the chair. And so what happened, when it went to the Board of Estimate, it was like a wrong budget code. So that's why it was pulled back. So it wasn't retroactive. The actual the city council did approve it timely when it was initially brought before us. So back in 2023.
So this is you're saying,
So this wording saying that it was retroactive repair, so they didn't do that, they actually came to us before they did the work
got you.
in 2023.
Okay.
So we can just edit that online on the floor.
So
Okay.
I guess motion to amend the,
Wait, so just a second, Councilman. So wouldn't we need to do the 2 votes over because the first one wasn't amended? Right.
sorry, I'm sorry for causing problems.
So
It's
you're
late.
saying the previous vote that we did?
Yeah, they voted on retroactive. So if we're changing the language now, then they would need to vote on the change from retroactive from the first vote and then give
Okay.
a second vote.
Okay,
Sounds confusing.
yeah, I'm not, okay. I'm not following.
It's
So-
gonna speak to this, it's just taking out retroactive.
Yeah.
So amending it this complex suffice.
You made that up.
No.
Okay, I don't think
So-
you can actually do that right now. We're at the second vote. So the amendment should have been done at the first vote. So either we go forward with the way that the vote is written right now.
We can do that, right? And then after, we can most certainly just, not even on the floor, we can just draw a line through it and initial it,
But
right?
doesn't retroactive work now? Because technically, if we pay it right now, it's
It is
retroactive from last year.
That's correct.
It's saying like retroactive repair. So they did the repair and then they came to the council for approval. It just, that's how it's written.
Take the
Okay.
vote.
And that's not exactly how it happened.
Are we
We
going
can
for a
take the
vote?
vote now and then correct
Yeah,
it.
because we should have paid them a long time ago since they did do this timely. So.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Okay. Councilman Boxell,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
No?
okay. Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson, Acting President Brown.
Abstention. I'm just confused by the whole thing.
Okay. All right, so we have 3 ayes, 1 nay, and 1 abstention. Since this is the second vote, it passes legislation.
All right, number 3, moving on. Department of Public Works and ordinance authorizing the final contractual payment to PCI Industries Corporation for street resurfacing and ADA compliant handicap ramp installation. That is, so moved.
On the question,
I would just like to note that this is the final payment for that contract and that DPW is going out for a new bid as it pertains to paving throughout the city, which will mean that there will be a whole new paving forward list.
Thank you. Madam
thank you.
President.
Any other comments, questions? Roll call.
Councilman Boxell,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet, Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Okay,
All right, Department of Public Works and ordinance adopting the resolution for the New York State Department of Transportation Bridge, New York. That's South Fulton Avenue and East Third Street Bridge Rehabilitation Project. BIN 2225220. So move.
On the question,
I have a question. Were the questions raised at Monday's meeting regarding which bridge?
yes, it says South
Can you
Third
please speak
Street
to that?
Bridge. Yes, so it's the East Third Street Bridge. So that's been answered. And
Thank you
they've
very much.
corrected the amount coming out of the engineering office.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Councilman Boxell,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
No?
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Okay, we have 4 ayes and 1 nay. The legislation passes.
All right, Department of Public Works and ordinance authorizing the release of a request for proposal, RFP, to establish citywide electric vehicle EV and plug-in hybrid EV, PHEV charging infrastructure capabilities. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Boxell,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, Department of Public Works and ordinance authorizing the advertisement for bids for various public works, construction, equipment rentals. So moved.
Second.
On the question?
My question presented at Monday's meeting was regarding the performance bond. Was that actually determined whether?
Yes, Commissioner Bush sent you an email saying that it's not just equipment rentals, but it's also for
construction.
construction. So that's where the performance bonds will come into play.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Same question. Awesome. Any others? Roll call.
Councilman Boxell,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet, Councilman Thompson, Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Okay.
An ordinance, Department of Public Works, an ordinance declaring an emergency authorizing the replacement of the HVAC system in the City Hall second floor city council room and authorizing the mayor to enter into agreement. So moved.
Second.
On the question? On the question, I'm pretty sure the mayor should be declaring the emergency. But just so we know for future reference, roll call.
Councilman Boxell,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Thank you.
Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the amendment of ordinance number 4 adopted by the city council on August 14th, 2023, entitled an ordinance authorizing the mayor to amend the original Arcadies of New York agreement for additional $1 million, a third and final extension of the emergency contract with Arcadies for the DEC consent decree. So moved.
Second.
On the question?
Just want to make sure that the clarification was made that a third extension could be done by Arcadis, correct? Corporation Counsel. The third extension for Arcadis is okay per con?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Roll call.
Councilman Boxell,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the city of Mount Vernon solicit requests for proposals for the upgrade of the Edison Avenue pump station. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Boxell,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Thank you.
Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the transfer of funds to support engineering and design phase of the South Fulton Avenue Bridge Rehabilitation Project. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Boxell,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the add-ons for legislation of public works. It's okay with you?
Yes.
All right. All right, number 15, this is Kelly Floyd, an ordinance authorizing the temporary closure of Eastchester Lane to hold a block party, and that's August 31st and September 1st, 2024, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So moved.
Second.
On the question?
Question. What's the address?
Says Eastchester Lane.
Right, but is that a one block area or just curious?
That's Hilltop, right? No? Hilltop's the
No,
next one.
but that's 16. I'm talking about 15. I get 16.
Eastchester Lane between 10th and 11th Avenues.
Great. Thank you, Council.
Sure.
And one is a rain date, if I'm not mistaken, correct? It says August 31st and September 1st? Yes? Okay.
Wait, I don't think that they're rain days. They have 2 days of events, right? So they're hosting an event. It's by Levisser Towers. They shut down the block. They have events for kids and it's 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on both days.
Correct.
Thank you.
31st.
My pleasure.
I got that confused with the Hilltop event.
No worries. I did as well.
Apologize.
All right, roll call.
Councilman Boxell.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson, Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, Thomas Johnson, an ordinance authorizing the temporary closure of the 200 block of South Fourth Avenue for the Positive Transition Annual Hilltop Cookout. That's August 3rd, 2024. And the rain date is August 10th, 2024. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none? Ooh, on the question, Councilman Thompson?
The only question, this is the Hilltop event located at 4th Street and 4th Avenue. They've done this event for 3 years. And we suggested for safety purposes that they come in and have that portion of the block closed. So no traffic will go through possibly harming it. So it's a great event for that area. Thanks.
Roll call?
Councilman Boxell,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet, Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, number 17, resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Vernon, New York, recognizing and celebrating Johann S. Powell Esquire. So moved.
Second.
On the question?
On the question, why?
Congratulations.
Awesome. Roll call.
Councilman Boxell,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, this is the last add-on from the city clerk, an ordinance authorizing Councilman Daniel Brown to attend the New York State Conference of Mayors NICON Fall Training in Saratoga. That's September 16th through the 20th, 2024. So moved.
Second.
On the question?
On the question. No, never mind.
Roll call?
Councilman Boxell,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson, Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Councilman Box Hill. Human Resources?
Thank you, Madam President. I have item number 11 from Recreation, an ordinance authorizing the acceptance of a donation from New City Park for repair of Madison Playground Safety Surface. So move.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Boxell,
We need more mics.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Okay.
Item number 12 from Recreation, an ordinance authorizing a partnership with New York Presbyterian Division of Community and Population Health for community revitalization activities at Lee O. Mann Park. So move.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Boxell,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you, Councilman Thompson, Public Safety and Code.
Thank you, Acting Council President Brown. Item number 13 from Public Safety, and ordinance authorizing the transfer of funds between budget lines funded through the American Rescue Plan, ARPA. So moved.
Second.
On the question, hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Boxell.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason.
Aye.
Councilman Potteet.
Aye.
Councilman Thompson.
Aye.
Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Thank you.
Item number 14 from Public Safety, and ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Secure Watch 24 for the purchase of 21 tablet-style mobile computers for the Department of Public Safety. So moved.
Second.
On the question,
I do have a comment. I'll be very quick. I've been playing bad messenger. I have been with PD, not around this specifically, but with some other legislation that they have. I have asked Commissioner Commissioner Gibson, thank you, to come into our next work session so that we can clarify all the various issues around staffing and software with PD. So, thank you.
Can I also comment on that? So-
sure, Councilman Boxell.
So these computers, it's actually crucial that they have these because they, not having them generates overtime. Because at the end of the shift, they got to do the reports and such, not in the vehicle, which they're sitting. There'll be a backlog of people lining up to use the computers right? And so they have to stay extra time after their shift to do reports and such. So it's crucial that we have these computers. Save money. Thank you.
All right, great, roll call.
Councilman Boxell.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason.
Aye.
Councilman Potteet.
Aye.
Councilman Thompson.
Aye.
Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Okay.
And I got one add-on, item number 19 from the Department of Buildings, and ordinance authorizing the department to partner with eBiz Docs and ICC-CD, better known as Laserfish, for digital content management. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Boxell.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason.
Aye.
Councilman Potteet.
Aye.
Councilman Thompson.
Aye.
Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Thank you.
Comments, questions, thoughts, Councilman Thompson?
Yes, thank you, Madam Acting President. I just want to say tomorrow, which is Thursday, the 11th, July 11th, the Westchester Community Health Center on the Mount Vernon Health Center campus will be having its Men Take Care of Your Health, health initiative for men from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So make sure you get every man that you love and your family, your coworkers, your family, friends, whomever, get them to show up to this because it is a known fact that men don't go to the doctor as much as women. So we have to make sure that we do whatever we can to get our men out to get the information they need. Also, next month on August 10th, which is Saturday, the second Saturday of every August, yes, we have Mount Vernon Proud Day. So make sure you show up for that. That's when all residents come together and celebrate whether they were born, educated, reside, or whatever in Mount Vernon. That's our Maroon and Gold Day. So we come to Brush Park from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. to celebrate together, and everything is absolutely free. And that is sponsored from Recreation and our City Council persons and Clerk's office. Thank you so much.
Madam President? Acting President?
Sure. Let's go with Councilman Potteet first, since he's on the council today.
Quickly, the Good Neighbors Block Association is having a party on July 27th at South 9th Avenue. So if you're in the area and if you're free, July 27th, please come out.
Oh, this,
Councilman.
just to piggyback on, Councilman Thompson's, the men's health, this is gonna be the kickoff. So this is they're gonna be doing this every Thursday, right? So men could come in and they could get checked, they could get screenings and all their, normal, checkups that they would have to pay for at a regular doctor. So they're gonna be doing it free at the clinic, every Thursday, but tomorrow is gonna be special because all of us men are gonna be there. And it's gonna be the kickoff, so it's gonna be the first night. So please come out and support and get your health taken care of. That's it.
Acting Mayor?
I would just like to ask that the council stand for a moment of silence because we lost Judge Brenda Dowery. And Judge Dowery, if I remember correctly, with Mayor Sean Patterson Howard, started the drug court here in the city of Mount Vernon. She was a very respected individual here in the city of Mount Vernon, and this, of course, is a shock to the city for somebody so well respected to pass away. So I just wanted to make sure that at the end of the meeting that we take a stand in silence in respect for the loss of her life.
Thank you. Only comments is it's hot outside, guys, so let's make sure we're staying hydrated, staying cool as much as possible. Do we have a cooling center at the Dole Center? Yeah. I believe we do have a cooling center at the Dole Center, so if you need some air, please go there. Look out for our seniors, as Councilman Thompson always says. And Johan, before we go, do you want me to read a little bit of your resolution? Yeah. Well, he's been an amazing attorney at the city of Mount Vernon, and we thank him for his service. That's the gist of it. All right.
And a genuinely good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn this meeting also in the memory of Judge Dow. So move.
Second.
Have a moment of silence.
Roll call.
Oh, roll call first.
Okay. Councilman Boxell. Councilwoman Gleason.
Aye.
Councilman Potteet. Councilman Thompson.
Aye.
Acting President Brown.
Aye.
Thank you.
Have a moment of silence. Thank you, everyone. And I want to remind everyone that this is the only city council meeting for the month of July. We only do one meeting in July and August. Have a great July.